On behalf of SSV Education Society's International Institute of Management Science, I welcome Professor Dhananjay Bhavsar for delivering a session on cyber security. Professor Dhananjay Bhavsar is MBA as well as MCA. He has more than 16 years of experience in teaching as well as in industry. His main domains are business analytics, human resources, and information technology. With this brief introduction, I now request Professor Dhananjay Bhavsar to kindly start his session.
Yes, sir.
Over to you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, one and all. I'm sharing my PPT. Just check it whether you are able to view.
It is visible, sir.
Is it readable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, dear students, we are going to start with the sessions of introduction to cyber security and information security. So, basically, this is topics related with the informations, whatever data we have, all the data is going to be secured. The basic challenges for the academic or any of a business to protect the data. And for that, this is an essential subject for MBA, that how you are going to protect your data, how you are going to secure your data, how you are going to make a transaction, any kind of transactions by using these rules, by using this some protocols, that we are going to just see the brief ideas of this complete subject. So first thing, the communications. So communication, we know that it is a transfer of information from one place to another place. For that, the three basic components are required. We require the source, we require the channel, and we require the destination where we want to pass the information. The source is nothing but generator of informations. Means you have the informations, and if you want to send that information from one location to another location, we required a channel. So there are a number of channels that we can use to transfer the information. But the challenge is that suppose if I transfer some information and there are a lot of people's intruders or hackers, they are just in the position to get that information, whatever the information. If that kind of information is accessed by these intruders, by this person, so your information is has means it is going to be penetrated, it is going to be leaked. So there are certain rules and regulations or certain algorithms are used to transfer this information into particular format. That is nothing but we called it as a encryption and decryption, right? We will see how that information is going to be encrypted, how it is
So we
going to be
cannot see PPT, sir.
You are not able to see the PPT?
No, sir.
Okay, just a minute.
It is visible, sir.
Just a minute, I will share again. Now can you see my PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay, fine. So communication, that we are discussing about the communication, it is a transfer of information from one place to another place. Three different things are required, three elements are required: source, channel, and destination. And that information should be efficient, reliable, and secure. These are the three basic properties of their information, that if you want to transfer that information, it should be efficiently, information must move, it should be reliable. What is the intention? With the same intention, that information, that message must be passed to the destination, right? And it should be a secured one. No one should hack the information, no one should change the content of that information. A communication system is a process of conveying information from source to destination that we just discussed. An electronic communication system, we know that n number of channels are available, n numbers of methods are available through which we can transfer the data from one location to another location. If in 1999, just I told you one simple example, there was means the post and telegraph, both the departments are one and the same. So in telephone department, if you want to send a telegram, they used one simple device. Through that device, the message is going to be transferred from one city to another city, like a telegram. So that literally the device is making a sound of kadakatta kadakatta, something like that. And operator, they are well versed with that particular symbols, well versed with that the signals, and they used to pass the message. The it was the first communication medium in a British we used in India to transfer data from one location to another. Now after that we have a telegram, text message is going to be transferred. Then after we have the mobile phone, we can easily chat, we can transfer data, SMS, emails, like that. The second thing, rate of information, that how much data you are going to transfer from one location to another location. So normally whatever data, the data is going to be split into a small packet. It is just something like 1 kilobyte packet is going to be split. Suppose if you have a message or letter of 1 MB, the same information is not going to be transferred from source to destination. So what happened, your information, your data is going to be split into a small packet that is called as a bird packet, 1 KB packet. And then there are a certain algorithms, that algorithms are going to be dismantle all your packet, send the packet from source to destination. And at a destination we have one more software. That software collect all the packets and then assemble the data, and then the all data is going to be used, all the message is going to be formed. So this is the normal process that is going to be followed by transmission of information from one to another location. So this is the communication system where we have engineering. We know that one system, another system, computers are used to transmit a data. Now we know that the computer system is going to be replaced by mobile services, mobile uh, devices. So we can transfer data from one mobile to another by using either WhatsApp, message, emails, whatever, right? Second, social system. We use a social system to transmit a data, and we know that the social medium, social platforms, Facebook, Instagrams, that are used for communication purpose also. The next one is the generic system where we can transfer symbolic information, symbolic data. Whenever we require to transfer some images, we use this kind of system. So we have a 3 communication system where we can use. So normally this is a simple model where information is there, or we can say the message generator. We have data, we have communication system, then we have the destination where we want to send. Whenever we want to send the data, we must need some certain identification addresses we required. अगर मुझे किसी को मैसेज देना है, किसको देना है, that must be that destination I must know. Otherwise what happened, the information, if I send that information, the information is going to be just moving into the network. वो network पे कहीं घूमता रहेगा. Or what happened, there will be a huge traffic in the internet, and at some level the network system is going to be collapsed. जैसे हम एक यूनिवर्सिटी की साइट, जैसे हम फॉर्म भरते हैं ना, फॉर्म भरते समय क्या होता है, एक एट पर्टिकुलर लेवल पे वो अपना इंटरनेट कनेक्शन मिलता नहीं है, जस्ट घूमता रहता है, हम देखते हैं अरे अभी आएगा पेज, अभी आएगा. You enter some information but you are not able to process. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So that is the things, whenever you have this communication medium is used. Now one more block diagram, we can easily identify how the information is going to move. We have transmitter, we have message, we can say source, person send information, then that information is transmitted through a signal. We require a channel. Channel is nothing but a physical medium, we can say cable. We have a Wi-Fi wireless cable network and Wi-Fi wireless network. So receiver we required, and that whatever information, that information is going to be collected, and the receiver will get the meaning of that particular messages. So these are the telecommunication medium: telegraph, fixed line telephone, cable, wired network, internet, fiber optics, communication bus inside. All these are the mediums through which we can make a communication. Fine. Now, wireless communication evolution, we know that UMTS, Universal Mobile Transmission Standards. So these are the communication. We know that we heard 2G, 3G. Now we are in a 4th G and 5th G. So data is going to be transmitted with a very high speed. Initially, only we are able to transmit the text message. Later on, with the advancement of technology, we are going to transfer some images, some symbols. After a few advancement in the technology, we are able to make a voice call. Now we know that the difference between the 3G, 4G and 5th G. So whatever advancement in the technology, the communication is fast, certain features are added with the communication, certain things are going to be improved so that we have a very high and fast communication. So wireless communication, we know that satellite, TV, cordless phone, all these are the set wireless communication. So normally in our college campus, we have a wire. We normally we told that we have a Wi-Fi campus. What exactly it means? Suppose most of the student, they have the laptop, they sit at particular locations and they are working on their laptop, they are accessing the internet. It means that somewhere we have the access point. That access point has a range, particular range, and normally we have the user ID and password of that access point, and then we access the our internet. Similarly, the satellite communication is used for communication throughout the globe. So these are nothing but we can say the different mediums, different things with the communications we can do. This is a little bit technical information that how we are going to transfer the information. You might heard the frequencies of the radio. आप रेडियो के frequency थोड़ा जानते हैं, FM radio, है ना? So similarly, initially, if the information or the transmission speed is less than 20 kilohertz, then it is called as a baseband signal. If your communication speed is more than 300 kilohertz, then it is called as a band pass. We heard about the broadband speed, right? This is the term mostly used for the communication. We have a broadband of 1 GB, 10 GB, 100 GB. So whenever we transmit a data with the speed of 1 GB, 10 GB or 100 GB per second, it means that we have the broadband or dedicated internet connection. So it depends on the speed how your data is going to be transferred from one to another location. Now transmission has a different mode. We have a simple transmission, we have half duplex transmission, we have a full duplex transmission. In a simple transmission, that is called as a one-way communication. The television or a radio, it is called as a simplex transmission, है ना? आज रात 8 बजे, है ना मित्रों, जैसे संदेश आता है. So that is one way communication. We do not have anything, है ना? मैसेज हमको सिर्फ सुना देता है कि मित्रों आज रात 8 बजे से लॉकडाउन होने वाला है. That is one way communication. Example of simplex. Half duplex communication, mostly it is used for the police department. They have the walkie-talkie and travels information in one direction. So once you are in the speaking mode, means someone is delivered the message, the another person he switched the mode, he must be in the listening mode. तो ऐसे वो बटन होता है वाईफाई अपना वॉकी टॉकी का, और उसके जरिए जो कम्युनिकेशन होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ हाफ डुप्लेक्स कम्युनिकेशन. The next one is known as a full duplex communication. Full duplex, in that can travel, the information is going to be moved both the directions simultaneously. That is a telephone. We can talk and even we can listen, है ना. और मोबाइल फोन भी हम बात भी कर सकते हैं और सुन भी सकते हैं. So that is known as a full duplex mode. So this is nothing but we can say the advancement of the technology, how the communication is going to be processed, how the communication is advanced one by one steps. Now these are the some cables that are used for the communication. Coaxial cable, I think these are the basics of networking. So how we know that television cable connect to tables we used cable connection, the same cable is used for the communication for the channel purpose. Satellite से जो भी है या dish TV हम use करते, so this is a coaxial cable available in different types, that is RG6 cable TV, normally used for networking purpose or for communication purpose. Replaced by now this coaxial cable is going to be replaced by twisted pair cable. So just remember that your examination is MCQ type. So maybe what do you mean by coaxial cable? So coaxial cable is nothing but it's a transmission medium. It has a copper core, copper wire, insulator, copper mesh outside, and then we have the insulator used for communication. Basically it is used for a local area network. Whenever you want to make a local area network in a small campus, then we can use the coaxial cable. Now it is replaced with the twisted pair cable. So this is called as a twisted pair cable. Unshielded twisted pair cable, it is inexpensive, easy to terminate. Normally for a local area, if you are using a coaxial cable, we require a terminator. जैसे हम कोई कंप्यूटर कनेक्ट करते हैं तो पहला कंप्यूटर दूसरा कंप्यूटर, ऐसे जैसे हम कंप्यूटर ऐड करते जाते हैं तो पहला और लास्ट कंप्यूटर वी रिक्वायर अ टर्मिनेटर इन कोएक्सियल केबल. So the information is moving from the start to end. If there is no terminator, the information is not going to move. So this drawback is removed in the twisted pair cable, right? So I do this, certain disadvantages are also there: susceptible to interference, then prone to damage during the installation, distance limitation not understood. So this is normally whatever the network connection we have in the campus, we use this twisted pair cable. So it has a color combinations. अगर गलती से एक भी जो network administrator hai, he knows that if you change the color code and if you join it, so then it is very difficult to have a communication. The third one is known as a glass medium, a core of silica, extruded glass or plastic. It is a plastic core. Signal mode is 0.06 micron in a diameter. So a light beam is passed in the optic fiber. It is known as optic fiber communication channel, where information is converted into the light and then it is moved from one end to another end, right? So this is one more medium which is used, optic fiber. Then wireless communication, we have network one, two pieces are connected, more than two pieces are connected. Then one more example is a Wi-Fi communication. Just I told you the simple example. Our campus is Wi-Fi. It means that a physical cable is connected to the server. Then in server we have hub and switches. That switches we have the access point. Then the access point is going to be transmitted data or information. Then one more is a radio transmit. That is the range of this is from 10 kilohertz to 1 kilohertz. Microwave is also one of the example of wireless transmission. It transmitted data from 1 GB, 1 gigahertz to 500 gigahertz. Infrared transmit 500 gigahertz to 1 terahertz. So these are the few examples of mediums where we can use narrow band, high powered, frequency hopping, spread spectrum. All these are the examples where data can be transmitted from one location to another location. These are the examples of connector. So we have a fiber optics. So if you have a fiber optics, so these are the connector we used. Then for a twisted pair cable, we required RJ45. Then connector token rings connector we have. Then T-piece connector, thicknet. All these are the different connector that are used. Now a radio, what is a radio? Radio is the wireless transmission through space or electromagnetic wave. In approximate the frequency is 10 kilohertz to 3 lakh megahertz, we can say. So the high speed transmission which is used known as a transmission. So this is all technical. Okay. So next one is a type of network that is basically it is asked in the MCQs. What is a local area network? Long form or complete form of a local area network, metropolitan area, MAN, and a wide area network, that is WAN, WAN. We will just discuss briefly about these things and then we will move to the next topic. Fine. So local area network covers a small region or a space, typically a single building. It is located in a single building, single campus. LAN is the smallest network compared to other two networks. So it is very simple, small one. You can connect minimum 2 pieces to 100 pieces to 100 pieces. It depends upon the server speed, which cable you are using, which kind of server you are using. Then the simplest form of LAN is the connect two computer together. We can connect to computer physically. Computers are connected to physical cable, and then it is going to be access. So we can connect 500 devices at a time, and the speed of LAN is normally 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. So the question may be asked that what is the speed of local area network? So you can identify, you can just remember it, 10 Mbps, 10 megabit per second to 100 Mbps. Fine. So this is nothing but a simple diagram of a local area network where we have one hub, and all these are the pieces. These pieces are connected to this hub and one single cable which is connected to the server. So in a local area network we have one server. Initially, whenever in a few, we can say in 19s, most of the organization, they are not able to afford the prices of the computer, so they used this network area, and most of the operator, they are using the machine, a machine which do not have the hard disk and other, they are connected with the server. So basic intention of creating the local area network is to reduce the cost of the infrastructure. Even you can install the whatever the software you required on the server, and each and every machine, they can access that software through the server. So these are the advantages of the local area network. So what are the advantages of local area network? First one is a reduction of the cost. Second one is reduction of the cost on the software. We can install the software, because to purchase a license software, it required a huge amount. So you can minimize the cost of the software, or all the softwares are stored at one location. Third point, we can connect the resources like a printer, scanner at the server location, and each and every user can access the server printer through that server. The second one is simple example of this one. Next one is known as a metropolitan area network. So metropolitan area network is one more network which is used. collection of land that is called as metropolitan area geographically, which is going to be connect all small networks, small local area networks, is a network of computer located at a different site within the larger physical area. Suppose if we have one organization and offices premises are different one location is Hinjewadi, second location is Hadapsar, third location is somewhere else, and they want to make a communication where the network administrator use the metropolitan area network. So all Hinjewadi has their own local area network. Then a Hadapsar branch, they have their own network, local area network, and all these networks are going to be connected. So that becomes a metropolitan area network. Or in simple language, we can say that a metropolitan area network is nothing but the combination of more than one local area network. एक से ज्यादा local area network अगर हम connect करते उसको करेंगे उसको हम बोलेंगे metropolitan area network. So just simple. So this is one simple area network, one more this one, this is the second one. And now all these pieces are connected through one another. So a person, any person can access the information of any campus. कोई भी बंदा किसी भी कैंपस का इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सेस कर सकता है. So this is nothing but graphically we can identify this is a metropolitan area network where the information is going to be transmit and access. Wide area network is little bit more than the metropolitan area network. It is the largest network of all the network types. The internet is the largest wide area network, we can say wide area network WAN, right? And the accessing speed is 1 GB. We can access the data from 100 to 1000, that is 1 GB data can be accessed through the wide area network, and there is no limitations for a wide area network. And next one, we know that internet is nothing but network of network. We can connect all the computers to through the cables through the Wi-Fi. So this is one simple example of wide area network, a satellite communication. So how the information, how the data is going to be transmitted. We have the transponder, one is a receiver. So information is going to be transmitted from this tower to the satellite and satellite to receive like this. So like this, the information is going to be moved around the net or internet. These are the differences between this. I will share this PPT so that you can get an idea, brief idea about what is a local LAN, MAN and WAN. Fine. Now network topology is there. So how computers are connected, certain protocols are used. Protocols are nothing but the set of rules and the regulations that are used to communicate. Normally the same topic is related with the MI subject, management information system, managerial information system. There is definitely one question was there. हर बार वो क्वेश्चन आता था कि how organization want to connect 500 PC, which topology is required. So we have bus topology, we have ring topology, we have star. One more is there that is called as a global or shell topology or mesh topology. So normally this is called as a bus cable. Computers are connected to the cable physically with this bus, and information is moving in this bus. So the data, whatever data that is going to be moved from this location to this location, and if any person, any operator, if he want to access that information, he can get that information through the bus. It is something like our transport, bus transport हमको पता है, एक सोर्स एक डेस्टिनेशन बस में होती जाती है और पैसेंजर जो है उसमें चढ़ते उतरते अपना डेस्टिनेशन आने के बाद ऑटोमेटिकली वो उतर जाता है. Similarly, data is moving from this point to this point. Here we required the terminator and this particular PC can get information through this bus, right? One more thing is that in bus topology, there is no controlling device, means server is not used in the bus topology. Each and everyone is known as a access point, source और destination. इसमें controlling device नहीं है. Simple example, जैसे अगर टीचर ने बोल दिया कि आपको असाइनमेंट करनी है, तो आप लोग क्या करते हैं, एक कोई तो भी स्टूडेंट एक असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट करता है, रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट दे जस्ट से यार तुम्हारा असाइनमेंट मुझे दिखा दे क्या लिखा है, and then you just get the idea and you make your assignment like this. So it is peer to peer, whatever information, whatever data which is shared to each and everyone. Clear? All computers on the network have a distinct address, just like your role or permanent registration number. Through that the communication is going to be performed. Without the address, without identification, information is not delivered, information is not passed. Then the second one is a ring topology. In ring topology, mostly the computers are connected to one another using the physical cable. The data is moving in clockwise and data is moving in anti-clockwise also. Means suppose information, this particular PC required information, so he can get information from this PC. This PC, if he required information from another PC, so he can get the information from another PC. Suppose if this PC is get crashed, so the network is going to be moved from anti-clockwise direction. So this is the advantages of a ring topology. If any one PC is going to be break down or failed or crash, the information is still moving from another direction. Clear with this? The same thing that is in this, how information is moving clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. This is advantages. One more thing, in a ring topology, we do not have the server, right? We do not have server on the ring topology. The information is just passing from one PC to another PC. Clear? Suppose now suppose this is PC1 and this is PC2, PC3 and PC4. PC1 want to access information of PC3, so it will make a request to this PC. Then this PC will get information from this PC and then it will move from the backward direction. Clear with this? It means suppose if you have a 10 PC, so each succeeding PC make a request to another PC, next PC will make a request to another PC, and like that the information is going to be moved. Then one more topology that is known as the star topology. In star topology, all computers are connected to one main PC, and that main PC is called as a server, or we can say a master controlling device. Master controlling device controls the information. So these are the node. It is called as a node. You can say node, workstation, or computer. So computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, 4, like this. And if this particular PC operator want to access the information of this PC, this node, then the first request is going to be sent to the server. Then server is going to be identified what information he can get. Then the server get send request to this PC. This PC again send information to server, and then the server again send this information to the concerned request node or workstation. Like this, the communication is going to move like this way. Clear with this? So anyhow, the request is going to be sent from that PC to the server and from server to the next PC. and whatever information that is again move back from that PC to server and server to the original requested PC. Advantages of this, just we have discussed all the software we can store into the server. We don't require to purchase all the license copy for all PC. Even we can connect peripheral devices like printer, scanner, plotter to the server, and each and every computer can get access to the printer, plotter or scanner through server. Clear? Then one more network that is called as a mesh network or a hybrid network. In hybrid network, that is nothing but the combinations of all the networks. So all computers are going to be connected through one another. Suppose this is computer. If I make like this, so it becomes a ring topology. Isn't clear with this? So if I connect all the PCs, so this is called as a, it is called as a ring topology. Clear? Now this ring topology is going to be connected, this PC is connected to this, you can get line connected. So this is called as a hybrid network. In a hybrid network, all PCs are connected to each other. This is the universal network, hybrid network, mesh network, or universal. Please keep in mind that when all pieces are connected to one another, then it is called as a universal network, universal topology. Though it is the universal, all drawbacks of bus, ring, star removed in this network, this topology, but still it is not used. If we have a 5 computers, then we need 4 cable connection to that particular PC. So the communication required n minus 1 cable. If I want to connect 50 PC, then one PC required 49 cables. So though it is a universal, though it is the best one, it is used very rarely in the commercial organization because of the cost. Clear? Now the next one is known as a layered, how information, how data is going to be connected. So a layer 7 layer OSI model is used. Concept of, hello, anyone, hello,
बोला
Sir, you can please continue. Hello. Dhananjay sir, are you able to listen? Dhananjay sir, you can please unmute yourself. Dhananjay sir, we are not able to listen to you. Please unmute yourself. Dhananjay sir, we are not able to listen to you. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Now audible. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get that. Means I am going to be a mute one. Anyway, so this is a 7-layer OSI model. This is also important how information is going to be transmitted from one location to another. So this this 7-layer OSI model is used, which is developed in 1947, International Standard Organization, ISO. We have a different countries with their different languages. To have a one common platform, this model is developed for a communication through the internet, communication through the network. So we have first physical layer, second one is known as a data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. Everywhere, whenever you want to make a communication through the computer, through the internet, we use these protocols. We use this OSI model. Without that, we cannot communicate with the PC. We cannot use the communication. So how information is going to be moved? So first three is known as a physical layer, physical, data link, and network. Actually, cable is going to be connected to PC, that is called a physical layer. Second, we have transport layer, how information is going to be moved from one to another, transportation. Second, we have the session. Just I told you that the information is going to be split into a small packet. So this session is going to identify the number of packet. Suppose if I have a data, if I transmit that data 1 MB file, so definitely it will make a packet of 1 kilobyte. So I will get 1000 packets. So all these packets are going to be moved from one PC to another PC. In another PC, all that data is going to be collected, and then it is going to be identified. One hash table is generated. That hash table is nothing but we can say indexing. So normally if we write our project, we have the indexing, page number 1, this page number 2. So each and every packet's identification number is stored into the hash table. Once all packets are received in this end, second end or destination with their address, all that message, all that file is going to be assembled. Original file is going to be created, right? Like this, the information is again generated with the same intention, with the same meaning, with the same message, and then that message is going to be read or like transmit or use somewhere. So like this, the information is going to be moved from one location to another location. All these seven layers are essential, or OSI model is required. So there may be questions like that: what are the fifth layer, or what is OSI? So OSI is nothing but, what is the long form of OSI? International Standard Organization. Clear with this? Then this is data, how data is going to be transmitted. This is known as a parity bit, error bit. Suppose information is moving from one location to another location, some part of that information is missed, then this parity bit or error bit is going to be recorded. All this is actually some graphically or technically thing is going to be identified. So these are the layer that is going to be identified. physical, data, network, transport, session, presentation, and application layer. Or you can make a small short form of this PDNTSPA like this, and then you can identify. Clear? The second thing is most important in the network security, that is a TCP and IP protocols, transmission control protocols and internet protocols. So these are the two protocols that are used for communication purpose. Without this TCP and IP, we cannot transmit data, we cannot have any kind of communication, right? So transmission control protocol used in the physical layer, it is nothing but the rules how the information is going to be moved in what direction, in what location. All the addresses, IP means address of that particular machine, is going to be identified, and then the message is going to be delivered to the destination. This is a simple diagram of TCP IP, where we have this physical layer, second one is a data link layer, then network, how the information, these are the softwares which are used for the internet protocol system. Then for transport layer, we have again certain softwares, transmission control protocols and UDP, unified user defined protocols is there. Then we have SMTP, FTP layers, where the data, actually the file is going to be transmitted and get into the presentation formats. And suppose if you transmit the Word file, the Word text is going to be assembled with the same format, with the same intention. If you transmit the image file, then again the image is going to be assembled with the same original, like an original image. So all these three layers are work. So application, presentation, and session layer, that is called as a logical layer, right? So these are known as a logical layer. These are known as this physical data and network are known as a physical layer. Clear? Now addressing, I just told you that we have a different addresses through which the information is going to be transferred. So we have physical address, we have logical address, we have port, and we have specific addresses through which data is going to be transferred. So if you want to connect your computer, so normally the server IP DNS is going to be put. So normally we use a global 192.168.1.1. These are nothing but the addresses. Again, in detail, now we are not going in details. We have the category class A, class B, class C, and class D kind of networking system. So we can connect the computers through that protocol, through that IP addresses. So each computer has its own unique address, that is known as a MAC address, machine address. So through that we can connect the computer, right? Now this is the physical address, how the information is delivered one particular. So this is a bus we have, this is called as a terminator 1, terminator 2. This is a computer send information through this cable, the data. This is called a bus. Bus is going to be moved data from one location to another location. Here this receiver get the information. So data 1, same information is going to be assembled and received to the receiver. Now the information security. Now information security required three essential components, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. So suppose if you have the information and if you required, if you want to secure or protect the information, what we required three essential components, three essential properties, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability of that information. So what is a confidentiality? Confidentiality means the information that should stay secret. If you want to protect that information, if you want to do not disclose that information, it is nothing but we can say the confidential information, that only those person authorized to access it may receive that access information, right? So say a simple example, in your computer lab, your computer is having two user. One is called as an administrator user, second one is called as a normal user. So normally the administrator gives batch code, so 2019-20 batch, 2020, or some user. So students are allowed to log on that particular user, right? And they can access, they can work, they can download information, whatever. But they do not have rights, they do not have privilege to enter into the administrator area. So administrator password is only with the administrator, and he can change the setting. So like that. So that is nothing but we can say the confidentiality. Clear with this? Second one is information is a power, and in our information age, we know that information is going to be asset of the organization. Unauthorized access to the confidential information may have disturbing consequences. It is a very huge loss if somebody hack the information. So I told you that the information nowadays it is considered an asset. So it becomes a huge loss, not only the national security applications, but also in the commercial and industry also. So to protect information is a main challenging job. Main mechanism to protect of the confidentiality in information system is nothing but it is called as a cryptography. A cryptography is nothing but it's a kind of a software. Some applications are used, some algorithms are used to transfer, to convert the data into some formats. Say simple some example, say Rahul want to send message to Aishwarya Roy. राहुल एक स्टूडेंट है अपना, उसको एक मैसेज देना है ऐश्वर्या रॉय को. अभी सीधा वो मैसेज नहीं दे सकता है. देन ही यूज वन ट्रिक. He convert that message into one particular format and he just write the code 145, right? 145 is the code that he want to send message, that is I love you. So simple example. Now the message is going to be passed to Aishwarya Roy. Aishwarya Roy get the message. Now Aishwarya is scared what kind of message it is, because it is only code 145. So one more software is required, that is called as a decryption. The decryption software is going to be convert the number message into original message, and then she got the message. She just see the message and she's scared and she just return message 154. So in between this communication, one hacker is there, and that इंट्रूडर्स हम बोलेंगे, जो हैकर है, इंट्रूडर्स है, जो मैल प्रैक्टिस करने वाला है, उसने वो मैसेज हैक किया और उसने देखा कि देयर इज जस्ट सिंपल कोड 145 and 541 154. He is not able to get the meaning of that message, and once that message is transmitted from Aishwarya to Rahul again then decrypt that message, and the message is I hate you. So this kind of software applications are used to encrypt and decrypt, that is called as a cryptography. So there are certain algorithms. These algorithms are used to convert the simple text to a particular format, right? So algorithms, certain algorithm like a triple DES encryption algorithm is there. Then RSA encryption algorithms, advanced encryption standard algorithms, then two-fish encryption algorithms, blowfish algorithms, IDEA. These are the names of certain algorithms. These are available. So any user, he can use any particular encryption or decryption to transmit a data only to protect his data. जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, जो भी डेटा है, अगर आपको प्रोटेक्ट करना है, देन यू कैन यूज इट. इवन इन नॉर्मली इफ यू वांट टू सेंड मैसेज टू योर फ्रेंड बाय यूजिंग अ मोबाइल फोन, तो उसमें भी एक ऑप्शन होता है, वेदर यू वांट टू इनक्रिप्ट द मैसेज. if it is a confidential information, if it is a credential of your credit card or debit card, so definitely you must need to encrypt the message. एंड मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि इंक्रिप्शन इज नथिंग बट जो भी आपका टेक्स्ट है उसको वो एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेट में कन्वर्ट कर देता है. आइदर इट कैन बी एनी अल्फाबेट और इट कैन बी अ नंबर. कोई भी एक नंबर वो जनरेट करेगा. द सेम डेटा इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रांसमिट फ्रॉम सोर्स टू डेस्टिनेशन. डेस्टिनेशन पे जाने के बाद then the same algorithm is used to decrypt the data. Then again the original data is going to be formed, and then it is read like this. So cryptography is nothing but conversion of information into a particular code, and again from code to information. इसको बोलते हैं encryption and decryption. Then the example of threats to the confidentialities are malware, intruders, social engineering, insecure networks, and poorly administered systems. So confidentiality break करने के लिए क्या क्या है? Malware. Malware we know that a cyber criminals create a malicious software that is installed on someone else. कहीं तो भी उसने एक सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसको इंस्टॉल करके रखा है. The basic intention of that is get the information, access the information, personal information को hack करना है. That is called as a malware. Malware is nothing but it's a malicious software which is installed on the any machine. कोई भी जो नेटवर्किंग के मशीन पे वहां पे इंस्टॉल किया है. Once the information is moving from source to destination, immediately it get activated and try to redirect that data to that particular machine. वो जो आगे जाने वाला डेटा है उसकी एक कॉपी वो ले लेगा और फिर वो डेटा स्टोर करके जो सोर्स है जिसने बनाया है सॉफ्टवेयर उसको वो सेंड कर देगा. That is called as a malware. Intruders, a person or any software unknowingly insert into your machine. कोई भी एक सॉफ्टवेयर है जो हमको पता नहीं है लेकिन हमारे कंप्यूटर के ऊपर वो डाउनलोड हो जाता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज इंट्रूडर्स. नॉर्मली व्हेनेवर वी ट्राई टू डाउनलोड एनी गेम्स, एनी एप्लीकेशन, so that application has certain links. With that link certain unnecessary unwanted software download with our machine, और वो हमारे मशीन पर एक बार आ जाने के बाद देन इट ट्राई टू गेट सेंड इंफॉर्मेशंस और इट ट्राई टू मेक अ रिप्लिकेट कॉपी ऑफ द डेटा. कई बार ऐसा हो जाता है कि हम उसको वायरस बोलते हैं. सो वायरस इज नथिंग बट इट्स अ सॉफ्टवेयर इज गोइंग टू कन्वर्ट, मेक और चेंज द ओरिजिनल डेटा. या तो उसका इंडेक्सिंग चेंज कर देगा या तो उसका जो एड्रेसेस है, जो रेफरेंसेस है उसको डिस्टर्ब कर देता है. सो दैट द डेटा इज गोइंग टू बी अनअवेलेबल. हमको वो फाइल अनअवेलेबल हो जाती है, हमको वो डेटा नहीं मिलता. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ virus. Intruders, social engineering. Suppose if you want to transmit a data, Facebook, unnecessary we are sharing our information, that can be a threats. Then second one is the integrity, is a concern with the trustworthiness, origin, completeness and correctness of the information. Whatever data, that should be a trustworthy, it should be a original, it should be a authenticate. Somebody need to authenticates. है ना. जैसे हम suppose if we install the software, we have one more authentication certificate, है ना. एक ऑथेंटिकेशन सर्टिफिकेट भी आता है, उसमें दिया होता है दिस इज ऑथेंटिक सॉफ्टवेयर, इट इज अ लीगल सॉफ्टवेयर, यू कैन डाउनलोड इट. इट मींस दैट यू हैव परचेज्ड द सॉफ्टवेयर. So like that is called the integrity. Integrity protection mechanism may be grouped into two broad types. Then one is a preventive mechanism and second one is a detective mechanism. Such as access in preventive, such access controls that prevent unauthorized modification of the information. मतलब जो भी information है that this software, this protective mechanism will not allow anyone to interact with the data. जैसे नॉर्मली हम अपना जो फाइल होता है उसको हम प्रोटेक्ट करते, पासवर्ड देते, एक्सेल को पासवर्ड देते, वर्ड को पासवर्ड देते, मशीन को पासवर्ड देते. सो that protected file is not able to edit, उसको edit करने की permission वो deny कर देता है. That is called a preventive. And detective mechanism which are intended to detect unauthorized modification when preventive mechanisms have failed. जैसे preventive mechanism है, आपको user ID password पता हो गया, आप machine के अंदर आ गए. First criteria that you should have the computer credential, आपको computer के credential पता होना चाहिए. अगर आपको कंप्यूटर के क्रेडेंशियल पता हो गए, यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड आपके पास है, आप कंप्यूटर ऑन कर दिया, कंप्यूटर के अंदर चले गए, उसके अंदर एक फाइल है, यू वांट टू चेंज द कंटेंट ऑफ दैट फाइल. आपका अभी वो फाइल के कंटेंट चेंज करने हैं लेकिन वो फाइल कंटेंट
चेंज नहीं करने दे रहा है, इसका मतलब दैट्स अ डिटेक्टिव. इमीडिएटली इट विल आइडेंटिफाई दैट दिस इज अ अनऑथराइज्ड पर्सन. अनऑथराइज्ड पर्सन है तो किसी भी फाइल को आपको इंटरैक्ट एक्सेस नहीं करने देगा. The control that protect integrity include principle of least privilege, separations and rotation of duties. That is, these are the threats of the integrity. जैसे किसी का ड्यूटी चेंज हो गया, second person आ गया, then him if he do not have the user ID, password or credentials, he is not able to log into that particular machine. The third one is availability of information. Is just an important like integrity and the first one. Then integrity attack against availability of known, that is known as denial of the services. Denial of the services is nothing but the software application or attack which is going to be stored on your machine and it makes a replication of the data. Unnecessary जो data उसको replicate करते चलेगा उसको बोलते हैं denial of service. Then second one is a verification and validation. This is very important. Suppose verification means you have the credential. If you have the credential, user ID or password, authentication and identification. हम इसको आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड ऑथेंटिकेशन बोलते हैं. सेकंड लैंग्वेज टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में इसको हम बोलते हैं वेरिफिकेशन एंड वैलिडेशन. वीवी मॉडल भी है एक. वेरिफिकेशन मींस यू हैव द क्रेडेंशियल and that credential is going to be insert, then it will identify what kind of role you have. जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था कि your computer has a two different user, one is administrator, second one is a normal user. जब आपके पास नॉर्मल यूजर के यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड है तो आपके जो राइट्स होंगे वो नॉर्मल यूजर के ही होंगे. जब आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड आपके पास होगा, देन यू हैव द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर यूजर, then you have the right to change or assign the privileges or permission to any user, right? So like this, verification, validation, authentications and identifications. Now the next is type of attacks. Attack can be categorized into two. First one is known as a passive attack and second one is known as the active attack. When network intruder intercept data traveling through a network, that is called as a passive, and active in which an intruder initiate command to disturb the network normal operation. Means the data जो जहाँ पे जाने वाला है उसको redirect कर दिया, उसका path change कर दिया, उसका ID address change कर दिया, that is called as active. So active attack, some active attacks are spoofing attack, then wormhole attacks, modification, denial of the service, then sinkhole and Sybil attacks. All these are the examples of active attacks, right? Spoofing, when a malicious node mispresent his identity so that the sender change the topologies. सिंपल एग्जांपल, जैसे कॉलेज में राहुल का पार्सल आ गया, राहुल जगह पे नहीं है, कुरियर वाला लेके आया पार्सल, अभी उसको तो डिलीवर करना है, तो कोई और एक स्टूडेंट उसने बोल दिया कि वो राहुल है और उसने वो पार्सल ले लिया, राइट? तो कुरियर वाला क्या करेगा, तो इमीडिएटली ही विल आस्क भाई आपका आइडेंटिटी कार्ड बताइए. अगर उसी क्लास में सेम राहुल नाम का कोई बंदा है तो डेफिनेटली ही विल शो द कॉलेज आईडी राहुल करके, and the person, the courier boy, he is satisfied, immediately he will deliver the parcel. So that is the thing we can say the spoofing, changing. अब इसमें प्रोटोकॉल क्या चेंज हुआ, टोपोलॉजीज क्या हुआ? Topology is that, rules is that he need to thoroughly identify the identification of that particular user का आइडेंटिफिकेशन होने के बाद ही पार्सल डिलीवर करना है, लेकिन उसने दे दिया चेंज इन द प्रोटोकॉल्स, टोपोलॉजीज. Then second one is a modification, when a malicious node perform some modifications in the routing routes so that sender send a message through the long route. So modification means in the network we have a different path. हर एक कंप्यूटर का एक पाथ जनरेट हो जाता है and that information is moving with the closest path. So the system, the router, smart router identify this is the smallest path where the information is going to be moved. CPM में आपने पढ़ा होगा, in decision science we have a CPM network diagram, path diagram हम ड्रॉ करते हैं. node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, how the data is going to be moved, how the parcel is going to be moved from one node to another, which is the closest path. Similarly, this modification is going to be change the route. जो स्मॉल रूट है उसको वो डिस्टर्ब कर देता है और एक बड़ा रूट आइडेंटिफाई कर देता है और बड़े रूट को बोलेंगे दिस इज द स्मॉलेस्ट रूट. So the information is going to move to that and it required too much time to deliver. Wormhole, this attack is also called as the tunneling attacks. In this attack, an attacker receives a packet at one point and tunnels it into another. It creates a small tunnel, a subway. Wormhole में क्या करता है, एक subway generate करता है and then it try to transfer the packets or data to that, and it identifies that, it displays that this is the shortest path in the network, but actually it is the biggest one. Then fabrication, a malicious node generate the false routing message. This means it generates the incorrect information about the route between the devices. Then denial of the services. Denial of the services attack, malicious node sending the message to the node and consume the bandwidth of the network. So it tried to generate a multiple files. वो सारा different file एक से ज़्यादा 100, 200, 1000, 1 million files are generated and all that files are going to be sent. सारे के सारे नेटवर्क पर सेंड कर देता है, सो दैट देयर इज अ ह्यूज ट्रैफिक्स ऑन द सर्वर, और सर्वर पर ट्रैफिक ज्यादा होने के बाद सर्वर गेट क्रैश्ड, वो साइट बंद हो जाता है या फिर उसको लिंक नहीं मिलता है. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट वी कैन से द Daniel service. Next one is a sinkhole. In sinkhole is a service attack that prevent the base station from obtaining the complete and correct information. जो destination है that is not going to be identified, मिलता ही नहीं है. In this attack, a node tries to attract the data to it from his all neighboring nodes. Try to get all the information from the neighboring node. Selective modification, forwarding or dropping a data can be done by using this attack. So all the data, whatever data is collected, जो जहाँ पे नहीं जाना चाहिए लेकिन that information is going to be collected, then some part of that information is disturbed. So that is nothing but we can a sinkhole. Then Sybils, this attack related to the multiple copies of malicious node. ये कंप्यूटर को ही मल्टीपल रिप्लिकेट कर देता है. मीन सपोज इफ यू हैव 10 computers, it will generate 100 computers. So you are not, if the system is not able, the source is not able to identify the correct node. So the Sybil attack can be happen due to the malicious node share its secret key with other malicious node. So like this, these are the certain attacks we can identify. Then passive attacks, we have the name of some passive attacks: traffic analysis, then EVS droppings and monitoring. These are the three different attacks known as a passive. An attacker tries to sense the communication path between the sender and the receiver. He tried to find out this is the path where data is going to move from server to destination. An attacker can found the amount of data which is travel from the route of sender and receiver. There is no modification in the data by the traffic analysis. Only the traffic is going to be identified. Next one, EVS dropping occurred in the mobile ad hoc network. The main aim of this attack is to find out some secret or confidential information from the communication. Mostly it is used in the mobile hacking. Whatever data, it try to get all the data, collect all the data, and then send the data to the particular person or hacker. Then monitoring, in this attack, which is attacker read the confidential data, only just monitoring. This kind of is going to just identify what are the important informations. It just try to get that information, monitor all that informations. So these are the few passive attacks. Some advanced attacks are there: black hole attacks and rushing attacks, which are again used for getting the information, changing the information. So all this is going to be identified. Reply attacks, Bernstein attacks, location disclosure attack, going to identify the locations. So I will just read it. I will send this PPT. Then the next is e-commerce security. So privacy issues, integrity issues, authentication issues, and non-reputation issues are related with the e-commerce security. We know that we are very much familiar with the concept of e-commerce. We have one more subject, e-commerce, hai na? MBA e-commerce. Now this e-commerce, we are familiar with this, how the traditional business is going to be converted into the e-commerce, and how, what are the threats, what are the issues, challenges for that. Would you want to transmit your credit card number? If you know unauthorized parties might tap this information, definitely privacy information, privacy issue, you are not going to share that information. Integrity issues, how can you determine whether the information sent to you has been already altered by the hacker? We are not in the position to get whether this information is already changed or not. Then authentication issue, how do you confirm that the company receiving your information is a reputable business, means whether it is authentication or not. So these are the few challenges, things that need to be identified, and there are certain mechanisms. All that mechanisms are used to protect your data, to protect the security. There are several protocols that provide transaction security, such as secure socket layer. We know that SSL, I told you that SSL certificate is there. That socket, secure socket layer certificate, identifies that whatever information, whatever software you have that is authenticated, that is legal. Then second one is the secure electronic transfer, that is called as a SET. Then one more is public key cryptography, digital signature, and digital certificate. All these are the certain mechanisms that are used to protect e-commerce security, your transaction, your business. Now public key, normally once you want to transfer or data or your credential or your information, certain tools are used. Normally in cryptography we have a symmetric and unsymmetric keys are used. Symmetric keys means, suppose a sender or a source and destination, if they are sharing information, both they have one software, one key. If they have the same key, that is called as a symmetric key information. And unsymmetric key, whether the source and the destination, if you transfer some information, data, transaction, both the sender and the receiver, they have two keys. One is called as a public key, second one is called as a private key. Without the data, without the private key, the transaction will not complete. अगर आप एक एयरटेल का आप ऐड देखते होंगे, एंड एक एयरटेल का ऐड, उसमें एक ओल्ड पर्सन को एक फोन आता है, बोलता है कि आपका ये ट्रांजैक्शन अकाउंट बंद हो गया है, तो अभी उसको स्टार्ट में करा देती हूँ, 95,000 आपके अकाउंट में 93,000 है. Then immediately she processed and she asked the OTP, right? The old man told the OTP to that girl, उसको बताता है, लेकिन वो ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट नहीं होता है, because one more security, public private encryptions are used by the Airtel to protect the transaction. Similarly, the same thing is used in each and every banking application, each and every kind of transaction. Whenever you want to transfer your money from one person to another person, that credential is used. So once you transferred, immediately it will ask the user ID, then your account credential. If your account credential are okay, then it will generate OTP. Then again you need to enter the OTP. If your OTP doesn't match, your transaction get failed. So these are the certain we say mechanism that are used to secure your information, to secure your data, right? To secure information, data can be encrypted. Cryptography transforms the data by using a key to make the data incomprehensible to all except its intended receivers, right? Then unencrypted data is called as the plain text. So normal text, we have a simple text that is called as a plain text. Once it get encrypted, then it is ciphertext file. Ciphertext file means your data is going to be converted into certain format, right? Your data is going to be converted into a certain format which is not easily readable to anyone. Only the person who is having the same software, decryption software, he can decrypt the data. Means your ciphertext file is going to be converted to the plain text, then a normal user can read the content like this. Clear with this? So encryption, decryption, plain text file, and a ciphertext file. Data, simple data, original message is a plain text. Once it is converted, encrypted, then it becomes ciphertext file, right? Ciphertext file move from one location to another location. जैसे हमने एग्जांपल देखा था 145154, यूजर ने अगर इन बिटवीन ट्रांजैक्शन में डेटा हैक भी किया तो उसको नंबर मिलेगा 145, उसे पता नहीं चलेगा व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज, राइट? सो सेम डेटा मूव फ्रॉम सोर्स टू डेस्टिनेशन, डेस्टिनेशन में जाने के बाद देन इट इज डिक्रिप्टेड, original text is generated, original message, original transaction is formed like this. A much higher degree of security is needed to make electronic commerce feasible. Public key cryptography, or just we discuss symmetric and unsymmetric transaction. Symmetric key, asymmetric key. Asymmetric key में दो की जनरेट होती है. सोर्स जो मैसेज भेज रहा है उसके पास पब्लिक प्राइवेट दो कीज होंगी, जो डेस्टिनेशन वाला बंदा है उसके पास भी, जो रिसीवर है उसके पास भी दो कीज होंगी, पब्लिक एंड प्राइवेट. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज असिमेट्रिक. सिमेट्रिक में दोनों के पास एक ही सेम की होंगी. इट इज नथिंग बट इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशन, काइंड ऑफ अ डेटा, योर ऑथेंटिफिकेशन, हम जिसको यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड बोलेंगे, ठीक है? Then secure socket layer, SSL. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So shall we continue?
Okay, sir. Briefly, you can deliver your concluding note, because
Okay.
already we have extended
Yes.
1 hour.
Yes, sir. Okay. So these are the some softwares. SSL is nothing but a mechanism to protect your data. Then SET, secure electronic transaction, is again one kind of mechanism that protect your data. Mostly useful for मास्टर कार्ड ट्रांजैक्शन और क्रेडिट और डेबिट कार्ड ट्रांजैक्शन के लिए यूज किया जाता है. देन साइबर सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी, दिस इज वन मोर इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक. व्हाट इज अ साइबर सेफ्टी? साइबर सेफ्टी थ्रेट्स क्या है, consequences in action, cyber safety actions. So all these. Cyber safety is a common term used nowadays. We are familiar with this one. Certain, we need to protect our data moving in the internet, that we can say cyber safety. Services, certain services are used, certain threats are there, viruses, hackers, identity thieves, and spywares. We know that virus are nothing but a simple application. That application is going to disturb all your original data, your indexing, your addresses of data. Hackers are nothing but the person who unknowingly, without the permission of the user, insert into your machine, access your machine data. Then identity thieves, people obtain unauthorized access to your personal information. And spywares are nothing but the softwares that will just record all your hobbies, how you are going to interact with the system. So these are nothing but the cyber threats through which we need to identify. Then consequence of inaction. So we can lose our data if we are not protect our information. Loss of confidentiality, integrity, availability of valuable informations. Lawsuit, sometimes it is going to be a cyber crimes. Loss of public trust. So these are the consequences of the cyber safety. Then certain 7 simple remedies are there that if we do this, we can protect our information. First thing, installation of operating system, software update. Whenever you purchase any new machine, try to purchase a license copy, license software, license operating system, and you need to update license copy your software regular basis, so that any virus which is downloaded on your machine, immediately try to quarantine that files. Second thing is run antivirus software. It is essential that your machine must have the antivirus software